I don't know why I get super nervous talking about anything on this channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about random stuff I used to do to be liked because I am a recovering people pleaser. And I've been realizing that a lot of people are people pleasers. A lot of us are people pleasers. Being on the other side of it and being able to notice what I was doing, it's a whole different perspective. So I kind of want to look at my past behavior with these new eyes and this new realization. So let's just get into it. It's kind of weird. I don't know if this video is going to make any sense. Do you guys remember me talking about how I'm going to enter my villain era? But really, you can't really enter a villain era if you are barely coming out of your people-pleasing era. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to regain perspective of my past actions to see, just to observe what I was doing and observe my behavior and maybe share those, and maybe it might help somebody else. So I am a recovering people pleaser, self-sacrificer, all of that. Although it might sound like I'm speaking negatively of the past version of myself or other people that might do this, I'm not. I'm just looking at it from a completely different lens, and now it just looks wrong. And it is wrong, but if you're there, that's where you're at, and that's okay. And this is not meant to berate you or put you down about it. We are all on a different journey, on a different path, on different timing. So just know that it's okay for you to be where you're at. You'll get there when you're meant to get there and when you want to get there, or whenever the circumstances are right. So this is not meant to offend anybody. I'm talking about my past self. So some of the things I used to do to be liked, it was almost like I was wanting to meet my needs for approval and being liked by doing these things for other people. And I would go out of my way to do them. And I would honestly base kind of my life on those things. I would schedule my life around other people's wants and needs. And I loved being people's go-to person. I wanted to be the go-to person that you call. I almost felt pride in that. I did feel pride in that. I prided myself in being the go-to person that you call when something goes wrong. I loved being that person for other people. I was that person for too many people, and I didn't have people that were that for me. Some of the things I did in the past were pull somebody's car out of the snow, like I shoveled it out myself. A young woman who had as much strength as I did, who had older brothers and parents, but I took it upon myself to be the one that went to go shovel her out of the snow. I understand there is some kindness to these things, and that's great, but I did not need to, put my child in a car and go and rescue this person. It wasn't my obligation, but I really truly felt like it was. I also would do things like, if there was a young girl that, was pregnant at a young age, not like a teen pregnancy, but more like at a young age, and her family kind of turned her back on her for being pregnant, I was going to be the one making that person a baby shower. I did do that. I did that, I think, more than once. It was just my thing, I just needed to rescue people, and I loved rescuing people, which goes above even beyond people pleasing. It goes into savior. It goes into Captain Save-A-Ho. I like to call it Captain Save-A-Ho, where I just really loved wounded birds and helping them. Why am I talking about that? That's not even where this video was meant to go. But anyways, looking back at it now, it's so crazy to think that that was me not that long ago. It wasn't until I was completely broken and nobody was around to help me that I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, what are you doing with your life? Why have you been self-sacrificing for everyone when at the end of the day, there's nobody there for you, But that's a whole nother thing, because people don't even necessarily need to be there for me, especially when it was just people that I was superficially doing things for, only to gain their approval, admiration, love, and being liked. You know, it's not like it was a mutual thing, and they didn't necessarily let me down because there was no mutual agreement that we're supposed to be there for each other. It was me going out of my way for them. I have done some of the shadow work, why people pleasing is so bad and it's so self-serving at the end of the day, because it's really not about the other person. It's not even about being kind. It really isn't. We do kind things in an effort to be liked, but I do think that the underlying thing is to be liked, to be approved, to be loved. And in some ways it's very selfish of us to do things like that. I know it sounds crazy. I think I'm just rambling. I think I'm gonna start this video over. I really haven't said much. I'm just rambling. I really don't think that there's a point to this video anymore. I used to do photography, makeup, and other, even hair, like highlights and things like that on people, because those were my skills as a way to people please, as a way to get other people to like me and to want to spend time with me. Also give away things, like things that I wanted or things that I paid for, things that I was not necessarily wanting to give up on. If somebody else liked them, I would let them have it, or I would give more than I was willing and happy to give, like more than I had to give. And I would almost be a little bit, once I started to shift, I would almost be a little resentful for feeling obligated to give those things. And it's so crazy to think now, because nobody made me do that. I did that to myself. And of course, people pleasing builds so much resentment and definitely leads to burnout, bitterness, just overall an unhappy, unsatisfactory, unpleasant life, because eventually you just give so much and receive so little of that back that you eventually almost run out of things to give. You are definitely going to be burnt out by giving, like without receiving. It's crazy to think now. It's crazy to look back and think how you're just pouring and pouring out of yourself when you yourself are drained and you yourself barely have enough for yourself, and you are giving and giving and pouring, and there isn't much left till you're dried up and angry and bitter and resentful with the world. So I just wanted to talk about some of those things, some of those people-pleasing tendencies that I had. I don't know if I'm gonna even post this or if there's even any point to this, but looking at it from this perspective now, it's almost funny. I mean, in a little cynical way, but it's just crazy to look back at the things that I did that I thought were good, you know, because being a good person is not always being kind. If you're liked by everyone, you are bound to, there's some quote about that. Being nice to everyone is not being nice to everyone. Because by being nice to some people, you are inherently hurting other people. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as being nice to everyone. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this video on that. And like I said, I may or may not post it. I probably won't. And then I'm just gonna start recording another video about the dark side of people pleasing. And I might only post the other one. We'll see. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me as I had this weird random thought. This channel's just gonna get really personal, and if this is not your vibe, not your thing, I totally understand. Like, it's okay. This is my personal channel, sharing my personal journey towards healing and growing and all of that. So I totally understand if this is not your thing. No hard feelings, you know what I mean? But I really want to keep this my little family, you know, our healing family. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Wait, I didn't think this shirt through. I don't want my underarms showing, or my arms in general. Anyways.